So I'm filming this video a few days after Trump's inauguration, and I'm watching my news and social media feeds filling up with information about all the executive orders he's signing, what they mean, which parts of Project 2025 these things check off. And yeah, it's kind of stressful because, I made a video last year talking about Project 2025 and why it was so important and how no one should believe the Republicans when they claim they know nothing about it, seeing as it was literally written by Trump's friends and associates who helped direct his first administration, blah, blah, blah. The U.S. elected Trump anyway, and now it's all happening. I'm basically Cassandra. And there is no schadenfreude to it, because to get satisfaction from being right, one would have to not just see the people who ignored you suffer, which is already happening, but one also needs to see the people understanding that they're suffering because of the choices they made. As an example, if you tell a crab not to climb into a pot of boiling water, and then it goes ahead and climbs into the boiling water, there's no schadenfreude there because, the crab has no idea what it's doing. It doesn't understand that it's made a mistake and then regrets what it's done. It just dies a stupid and painful and possibly delicious death. I know, I'm sorry, my vegan friends. I grew up in crab country. I can't help it. And I saw this all happen with COVID. Dumbasses claimed it was just a common cold, that the vaccines were evil, that ivermectin would protect them. And then a bunch of those people got horribly sick. They went on ventilators and they died. And I guarantee that the vast majority of them went to their deaths blaming Barack Obama for some reason. DEI did it. It's such a huge lesson that I can't believe it took me so long to learn it. I blame Hollywood. The most satisfying bad guy deaths involve the bad guy having at least some realization before he dies. Hans Gruber knows that John McClane has ruined his plans, and then you get to see his look of shock as he plummets to his death. Or Yosef spending a good 30 minutes running and hiding and cowering and sweating before John Wick finally dispassionately does him in. But in real life, alt-right MAGA degenerate James Woods' house burned down thanks to anthropogenic climate change. And as he's crying on CNN, he's also posting on Shitter about how it's really the fault of, DEI. There is no realization. There is no comeuppance. There is only brain rot. So that's how I'm feeling right now. Just kind of overwhelmed by the news, feeling deeply annoyed by it all, feeling like if someone says the wrong word to me, I'll bite their head off. In fact, just yesterday, while I was reading the news, my dog was pacing around my desk, whimpering for attention, and I actually snapped at him and told him to leave me alone. And apparently I was so sharp with him that he actually did. He left me alone. He walked right out of my office. I don't think that's actually ever happened before. So instead of talking about any of the news that's making me so short-tempered, I figured, you know what? Let's go find a random news study to talk about. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's one. Irritability and social media use in U.S. adults. Oh. Okay. In this study published this month in the Journal of the American Medical Association, researchers examined surveys from more than 42,000 American adults, comparing the frequency with which they read or post on social media with markers of irritability using the brief irritability test. In this test, subjects are asked to indicate how often they have felt or behaved in the following ways during the past 2 weeks, including today. I have been grumpy. I have been feeling like I might snap. Other people have been getting on my nerves. Things have been bothering me more than they normally do. And I have been feeling irritable. Frequency is scored between 1 and 6, from never to always, with individual items summed to yield a total score between 5 and 30, with higher scores indicating greater irritability. And then, of course, there's a bonus question about whether or not you've yelled at an otherwise blameless and adorable animal you love more than life itself. At which point, if the answer is yes, you add an additional 100 points and then go right to jail for no fewer than 90 days. Sure enough, the researchers found an association between social media use and irritability, even when subjects were just viewing posts and not even participating, and even when controlling for things like anxiety and depression. They found that engaging in political discussions also increased irritability, although just following political news resulted in a slight decrease in irritability. The biggest missing piece of this study, of course, is correlation. We don't know if frequent use of social media makes people more irritable or if irritable people are more likely to spend more time on social media. There might also be some third confounding factor, like staying up all night on social media makes you not get enough sleep, which results in you being more irritable. That said, the authors hypothesize that it is, in fact, bidirectional. The apps are designed to make you keep using them, so it's possible that you're more likely to keep going back to something that is irritating as shit. Because the stupid electric meat that drives our bodies around spent most of its history evolving to survive tiger attacks instead of developing a reward center for doing things that are actually good for you or society. I'm no fan of most evolutionary psychology, of course, because my ancestors on the savannah had to learn to fight just so stories to survive. But I do think there's something to be said for the idea that our brains aren't exactly well designed to handle a fire hose of bad news and worse opinions blasting us in the face 24 hours a day. I am very lucky in that my job is to learn new things and then share them with you, and I get to do it more or less on my own schedule. But when it comes to dealing with that fire hose, I'm not so lucky because it is unfortunately a part of the deal. So after thinking about all of this, I've decided to try two tactics. For a start, I'm going to stop reading social media outside of work hours or for other than work purposes. And second of all, I'm going to acknowledge that social media can make me irritable. I'm going to pay attention to that and try to flag my own behavior when it's happening so that I can stop being on social media for at least a short period of time and do something else. For instance, I don't know, I might notice that my dog, who I got to help with my anxiety in part, maybe my dog notices when I'm getting all wound up and comes and asks to play with me. And maybe, I don't know, just maybe, I might use that as just a little alert to say, hey, maybe I should log off and go play in the grass. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.